Folks across the United States and the world are gearing up for the heavyweight formatted argument of the century. Former Vice President Joe Biden versus President Incumbent Donald Trump. It's a battle most folks couldn't have predicted 10 years back. Two 70-somethings going head-to-head for the heart of America. Unfortunately, it's a battle of words and wits, not fists. Wouldn't that be a spectacle? It seems as though wits might not be all that the two contestants bring to the table though. There's sure to be plenty of insults, underhanded compliments, and talk of political correctness. I'm sure plenty of people are going to skip the debate and wait for the highlights, and you know what? I don't blame them. The debate's gonna be a mess, there isn't any doubt about that, but who will come out on top? Can Joe Biden break down the idea that he's a slow, confused old dude and really prove that he's earned his lifelong political legacy? Or will Donald Trump pull out all the stops and insult Biden into submission? We'll know later tonight, but for now we can definitely predict the results. Hello fellow friends and philosophers, and welcome back to the most mind-bending channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your voice in the void, Keegan Hughes, and today we're asking a question all the mainstream media outlets are deeply, deeply concerned with. Who will win the presidential debate, Joe Biden or Donald Trump? If controversy is your jam, make sure to check out our biggest debated questions playlist right up here in the top corner. If you didn't know already, we're launching a brand new channel soon called Top 10 Central Vibe featuring Che. It's gonna be hilarious. Highly recommend you go check it out. Outstanding. Let's get started. So what does winning the debate mean really? It's tough to say, as all metrics of measuring political success are pretty ethereal until the final vote is counted. You can poll and interview and predict all you like, but knowing who's winning and losing changes depending on who you ask and when. However, there is the possibility that one candidate looks a whole lot better on the debate stage. And even this can be questionable though. Take the now famous Kennedy-Nixon debate from 1960. Time sure does fly, doesn't it? That was 60 whole years ago. But that debate was a topic of controversy, especially because the people watching it and the people listening came away with different conclusions. Folks watching at home on TV claimed that Kennedy looked young and energetic and came across better than Nixon. But people listening on the radio felt as though Nixon had a better grasp on the issues at hand. This anecdote has been called into question over the years, and the question of who won kind of changes depending on who you're asking, different demographics, etc. But one thing remains true. Having both candidates side by side was a game changer. It's happened quite often since. Let's be real though. Presidential debates in the past likely had more actual impact than anything that will happen during the Biden-Trump debate. Folks tuning in likely already know enough about these two candidates, as this has been one of the most raucous races in recent history. Both parties have taken plenty of shots at each other, and the online presence of their supporters is nothing short of suffocating. People likely have already made up their minds and are tuning into the debate to either have their viewpoints confirmed or to watch sparks fly, and honestly, both are likely to happen. As it stands, this debate could really and truly go either way. I don't think anyone would be surprised if either candidate crumbled on stage, reverting to tired talking points and placing blame on others. But there are situations in which one of the two could come out on top, so let's investigate. For Biden to win, he needs to appear alert and ready to go. A lot of Trump's anti-Biden campaigning focuses on his supposed sleepiness, his old doddering mannerisms, and his creepy closeness with a plethora of young folks. If Biden can stand tall and make his points clearly and concisely, and maybe not sniff anyone's hair, he'll be in a good place. But of course, just showing up and being presentable isn't enough to win a debate. Biden will have to take a hardline approach to Trump's failings as a president. He'll most likely bring up COVID statistics, economic concerns, and the recent environmental disasters. If he can stick to these topics and not get sidetracked by satanic panic style accusations, Biden might be in the clear. Recently, Trump has come forth and put some protection for himself up though. Heading into the debate, he's been quoted as saying that Biden has been in politics much longer than him and that experience might serve him well. In a way, Trump is insulating himself. He can claim that he knew that he wouldn't do well in the debate if that is the case because Biden is so experienced. But also, Biden is old and tired and needs to be drug tested, so who knows. Which brings us to Trump's win conditions. He needs to prove that he can hold his own against a political veteran. It's very doubtful that Trump will be able to engage with Biden in a classic debate style, as, he's said he's not that experienced with stuff like that. But what Trump is good at is getting sound bites and big quotable moments in. He's been a reality TV star for years, so he's aware of how big gestures can capture an audience's attention. He'll probably be looking for an opportunity to steal the show all night. If Trump can make Biden look bad enough and avoid admitting too much fault, folks might really see him as the victor. He doesn't even need to get a whole lot of quality points across, as evidenced by the debates in 2016. As long as he doesn't back down at any point, his base will feel as though he achieved victory. The debates just pomp and circumstance anyways. It's good for ratings, good for publicity, and it's likely going to make a bunch of money for the people covering it. The actual effect it'll have on the presidential campaign is probably pretty small. Folks know what they're getting from each candidate. We'll see whose approach works better. Apparently, Biden's been running all sorts of mock debates in order to properly prepare himself for the upcoming clash. This kind of academic approach is in line with his political pedigree and should keep him on point and ready to roll. However, it might also tire him out. Plus, there really is no predicting what Donald Trump will say at any given moment, so it's questionable how much a mock debate can actually prepare the Democrat nominee. Trump, on the other hand, has been working with Rudy Giuliani and Chris Christie, but not actually running any mock debates. He seems to do better when he's off script anyway, doesn't he? So one issue that will definitely be brought up is the recent revelation concerning Trump's taxes. This will likely be a sticking point during the debate. Biden has to bring it up, there's no way around it, but will he be able to make a compelling point against Trump? Or will Trump, in classic style, redirect the question and paint Biden as slow? One would think that paying almost nothing in taxes would look bad on a sitting president, especially when his contemporaries have indeed put their money where their mouths are. But a lot of accusations and revelations that would have immediately sunk other people's political careers just don't seem to stick to Trump. The toughest thing for him might actually be convincing people that Biden would make things worse. The United States has had a really tough year, what with dealing with a global pandemic, watching police brutality unfold live on social media, and seeing massive protests about human rights and more. All of this happened while Trump was in office, so how can he spin that? Claiming that Biden president will exacerbate these issues could backfire, as Biden could turn all those issues back on the current president. It'll be an interesting run for sure. We've seen both these candidates in action over the past few years and largely know what to expect going into this debate. Once one gets a slight advantage, they're likely to maintain it throughout the night. There's plenty of potential for fireworks, with both Trump and Biden poised to go off the rails. Who could have called this, right? The two oldest possible candidates duking it out in the age of the internet. There definitely will be some memes after this. Probably not good ones, but hey, that's the modern political climate. So what do you think? Who's gonna take the debate? Will it be close or a landslide? Does the debate really matter in the grand scheme of things, or will it just be another sideshow attraction on the way to November? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more snarky ones from What If the Earth Was Cut in Half. One user said, short answer, we die. Long answer, we die, but with passion. It's a beautiful way of putting it. We should all approach things with that level of passion. Amanda Moody says, well, if it did happen, Earth would still be round, but it would not be together, and the Earth would float away. The core would separate from the Earth, and we would die. Edit, it is just a theory, not a game theory. I have not watched the full video, so I just made a guess. What, it's not a game theory? I could have sworn Matt Pat was in here somewhere. East Angela UK says, at last someone else that knows about the film Cracking the World. It's funny too, because they have started to show this on TV again. I think Film 4 or Talking Pictures channel show it here. That's wild, I didn't think anybody would be broadcasting it these days. Xavier Lauzak says, what if chocolate coins became an official currency? The company Cocoa Heritage would be worth a lot more money than it currently is, that's for sure. Could you imagine your money melting though? And Toy Bonnie says, hey LBQ, I have a question for you. What if Siren Head was real? We've got some videos about Siren Head. Make sure you go check them out for an in-depth investigation. And that's all the time we have for today. Before I glitch out and become junked out, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more ancient arguments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.